Okay, D&D update. I don't really want to do this, since I'm having sleep troubles as it is, so I don't want to be babbling trying to fucking go to sleep. But I've already delayed it to the point where there's 3 games now I have to fucking update, and that's all for the same fucking recap. So, I think that's fucking enough. So go ahead and get this fucking shit out of the way. So when we left off, we had just arrived in the town with dude's niece, Baron Strahd's niece. So we decided to go visit her to try to cure her of her ailment. So we go there, and we're let in by a butler and a maid. The butler looks like the butler from Helsing, and the maid looks like the maid from fucking from Black Lagoon. So there you go, mental image. You got it. So they lead us in, and they take me and Anna because we're the healers, and I also say Lundy is our Nurse Vasir, so he can get in because he's usually the one who asks the questions and stuff. So we go in and we start examining her, and it dawns on Vasir first that she's a vampire, and so is the butler, and so is the maid. Everybody's a vampire. So Vasir starts having a panic attack. Anna notices this, and then she figures out that fucking this woman is a vampire. So Anna has a fucking heart attack, like almost fucking dies on the spot. Like I was also fucking panicked. I was trying to run away, but the butler was holding me down, and seeing Anna have a heart attack, that kind of snapped me out of it. So I managed to get something on her where she could ignore the pain of having a heart attack enough to fix herself. And then, myself being a professional, I went over and start examining the patient. Now, Queenie and the rest of the group were waiting down the hallway when they hear Anna scream in pain. So Queenie decides to rush in. That's when fucking the butler grabs her with his fucking razor wire gauntlet. And then the rest of the party's coming up, and the maid's behind them with a gun. So as I'm examining the lady, I'm like, I'm gonna say you're a vampire. That's interesting. How long have you been one? And she tells me that she's like, do you want to clean the shit out of your pants? It's like, if that would be acceptable. So, like, I'm leaving, and I'm like, as I'm passing the butler, I'm like, excuse me, where's the lavatory? And he's like, down to the left. And I'm like, thank you. And then I'm all like, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, excuse me. Well, this big fucking fight was about to go on. What you doing, Gingy? Ginger's moving around. Wait, you want over on this side of the bed? Okay. She's a worrywart. She wants somebody to coddle her before she goes to sleep. So, where was I before you fucking so rudely interrupted me? Don't lick my hand. How can I stay mad at you? So, anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, cleaning the shit out of my fucking pants. So, I get back in, and I discern that it's not a curse. It's nothing like that, but it's in fact a poison that affects vampires, which is really weird because, that usually doesn't happen. So we have to get a blood sample to ascertain what's in the poison and how to cure it. So I get that, and I work for a while trying to figure it out, and I do. And it's funny because one of the ingredients, because like a couple of the ingredients for the cure wasn't too bad. But one of the ingredients was the dust from an ancient mummy. And, my character at that point, he has to fucking say it. He's like, where are we gonna get the dust from an ancient mummy? Cue the sounds of horrified townsfolk. So we go and look out the window that's looking down upon the town, and there's a dude riding in who's turning into fucking sand as he's trying to fucking point out that there's a huge army of undead led by a group of mummies, a vampire, and me. It seems one of my fucking doppelgangers has founded me. And he had found some new friends. So we're like, oh, this isn't fucking right. Well, first I'm like, well, I figured out what that fucking card that didn't do anything did. So we go out to prepare to go into battle. And thankfully, since we have some time, I was able to do something I had been wanting to do for a while now. I was able to paint Symbol of Healing onto something. So I painted that onto Angus's shield, and what that basically did was make him a nuclear bomb. Because, yeah, you're not going to be able to do too much damage, especially to the big hefty undead. Because it's only 2d8 plus caster level up to 15. So, it's decent, but it's not great. And you can only affect a thing once a day with a Symbol of Healing. But when it came to having to deal with all the little zombies and the ghouls and shit, that shit just obliterated them. So it's good to keep, it's good battlefield control. So we're going out there. I'm squaring off with my doppelganger, who we both end up hitting each other with empowered rays of enfeeblement and knocking each other's strength down to 2. So that was fucking hilarious. Queenie's fucking obliterating the fucking mummies with her fucking revolver. Lundy's fucking beating the shit out of fucking mummies. So is Kalen's fucking Eidolon. And his cancer elementals. His cancer elementals actually played a huge fucking part in this, because if it wasn't for them, the mummies would have probably ended up closing in on us. So they were, they helped prove roadblocks, which is, always useful. I think Angus was busy kind of trying to get to the vampire dude and just mowing through fucking, lesser undead. He was going through some ghouls and shit. Angus was fucking trying to peg the vampire. Oh yeah, Lundy went after the vampire. He didn't go after the mummy. Because Queenie, it's pretty much Queenie and Jillian going after the mummy. And, myself going after my fucking dude. So we start taking out the undead. And I'm getting sick and fucking tired of my doppelganger. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to have to do this. So I basically cast an veneration, which basically it's fuck you, the spell. It's you fucking gain negative levels, and what a negative level does is it wipes out your levels, and then you become a lower level character until you get rid of those negative levels. And it just so happens I fucking critted. So, so we decided that since he rolled dice for it, and it is an attack spell, I did have to roll for it, you can crit with it. So I ended up doing more fucking levels than he had, which made the Dark Powers very interested in me. So much, in fact, they gave me an ability. I can cast Ray of Enfeeblement once per week now. Which, that's pretty cool. But, so he dies and he becomes a ghost. And, he starts attacking Anna and shit. And then he kind of fucks off because he's like, because I kind of fly up into the air at one point. Because, like, he flies into the ground, so I kind of counter it by flying into the air. So, Lundy and Darth end up taking out the vampire. Queenie and Jillian and Anna end up taking out the mummies. Me and Angus end up pretty much taking out the scrubs. We managed to collect enough dust, and we managed to cure the niece who gave us the symbol of Ravenloft, which pretty much is basically the symbol of vampire killing. So that's pretty nifty. So that was the end of that one. So when we started again, we're heading back. And against our better judgment, we decide to head back into the same fucking town where we fucked up before. And this time, it's a little too quiet. Cue fucking dramatic fucking strain fucking chord right now. Boom, boom, boom. So we arrived just as it's starting to turn dark. Everybody's kind of running into the houses and shit. So we decide, like, hey, let's go to the bookstore. So we go and we knock, and the door's locked, and she's like, who is it? And it's like, oh, it's the people from earlier. Oh, the people who opened up the tomb and doomed the town to fucking undead. To this undead nightmare. It's like, yes, those very people. We should probably stand away from the door right now. So, we get out of the way and she fireballs the door. And then she's like, oh, I missed. So we get the haps. Basically, the little girl came out, killed the former burgomeister / mayor of the town because he tried to fuck her. He was a pederast, but, he fucked with the wrong... it's basically like, let the last one in. I mean, not let the last one in, let the right one in, basically. It's like, yeah, go ahead, fuck a juvenile vampire. That'll totally work out in your favor. So, she kills, like, the local priest and rises him as a new dad because she kind of sensed that we had killed her previous parents, and she wasn't none too happy about it. So we decide to go to the church and maybe see if we could talk to the dude and try to get in, can't think of the word, so continuing on. Let me check time real quick. 14 minutes. Not doing too bad for time. So, why do you got your head up like that? You ain't gonna get comfortable enough to go to sleep. It's crazy, dog. She had her head, like, all cocked up. So we go there, and the altar's covered in blood and cracked open, and the dude's, like, obviously fucking dead and creepy. So we managed to bluff our way into him kind of getting us into there. And we start going up. But then he kind of recognizes the bookstore lady who decided to come with us because she's a pretty high level wizard, so that pretty helps. So he starts going after her, and that's when, since this was a new day, I was like, hey, guess what? Fucking activate fucking symbol of healing. So that activates, and he's like, it's the murderers! And it's like, fuck you, they were already dead! Mercy killing, bitch! Or is it a mercy unkilling? I don't know. So that's when, like, the door to the vault swings open, and it's all, like, fucking creepy black in there, and something fucking grabs Lundy and pulls him fucking in. It's all fucked up. So so me and Kalins are like fucking beating the shit out of the priest. I lightning bolt him, but fucking good. And Kalins, by this point, he kind of switched up his Eidolon a bit. His Eidolon now has like 4 fucking arms, so it has like 4 fucking attacks. So he just like ripped that motherfucker to shreds. And I think Jillian got the killing shot in on him. So vampire spawn came running out as well, but half of them ended up bumblefucking on each other and just like ended up impaling themselves on fucking Angus's sword. One of them managed to grab Angus's shield and like he tried to hurl it, but he bumbled fucked, and he bumbled fucked so badly he ended up throwing the fucking frisbee behind him. So, you know, Angus still couldn't reach it because it was like on top of the mausoleum, but like at least he knew where it was. And then I don't remember what happened to the other one. I think he tried to get a hit in, but like fucking Angus ended up getting a fucking crit on him. So that took care of that guy pretty fucking quickly. And I can't remember who, or you know, maybe that other vampire spawn just ran off or something. I can't remember who killed the second vampire spawn. Might have been Anna. You know, it might have been Anna. So Lundy's trying to fight the little girl in the dark. That's going about as well as you can expect. So I get a daylight off that cancels out the darkness. So that lets that gives Queenie and Darth line of sight. So they just start unloading bullets and fucking flaming arrows and holy water arrows into it. That's when the vampire girl decides to be a little bitch, and she dominates Lundy. Now, you know what dominate does. So, Lundy believes the little girl is his child. So, what Lundy does is he picks up Angus. Well, first, he nails Jillian. Because Jillian's taking a couple of shots at the vampire girl. He nails fucking Jillian, like, really fucking super hard. Like, so fucking hard, she goes flying fucking back. Then he picks up Angus' character and proceeds to beat Queenie almost to death with Angus's character. So, thankfully, Lundy got pretty fucking beat up by the vampire, which allowed Brianna, who had also been going after the little girl vampire at this point, it allowed Brianna to get a hit on Lundy and knock him out. And then the little girl vampire retreated to a different part of the tomb. So we're like, oh, that didn't go as fucking well as planned. And Visir's still like fucking controlled. So we're like, I don't want to, but I fucking used Dispel Magic on him to get rid of the fucking thing. So we go in, and she's ready for a fight, but Anna's like, you know what, fuck this. So she uses the symbol of Ravenloft and fucking incinerates the little girl vampire. I mean, it's like Interview with a Vampire when fucking dude's vampire family got fucking incinerated by light. It's like that shit. And you might be wondering, it's like, hey, Napalm, didn't a couple of the recaps ago you said this tomb supposedly had treasure in it? Yeah, supposedly it did. But guess what? It fucking didn't. I mean, thankfully the fucking priest dude had some treasure on him, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, there was nothing fucking in here. It's fucking... That's reason number 2. You don't go fucking hunting treasure in dungeons in Ravenloft, because you know what? Fucking, it's either gonna be too fucking hard to get it, or it's not fucking real. The treasure is a lie. So after this, and you think that was like the most fucked up fight for that adventure, I gotta check the fucking time for this, because, like, this one's gonna fucking take some time to explain. So, we head back towards where Castle Ravenloft is. And... because I'm a dick. Because well, we know basically, when we left the Niece, she kind of let us know that Strahd knows Anna looks like fucking Strahd's true love. So we know Strahd's looking at us. But here's what I told Psych. I was like, hey, Psych, we've probably been talking about the Were-Raven and who the Were-Raven is since we fucking started this shit. So Strahd probably will figure out who the Were-Raven is either before we get there or after we get there. So we get into town, and who happens to fucking meet us? The fucking sheriff. And he says some fucking crap. He doesn't attack, so we don't attack him. And we go to meet the Raven. He does the whole scrying stuff, and he's really impressed that we have the thingy, the symbol of Ravenloft. And he says he will get the icon of Ravenloft for us, but we have to go back to the bar and wait. So as we're going back to the bar, we hear screams and the faint scent of smoke. It turns out the sheriff has decided to go after the Were-Ravens. Who saw that coming? You can't see it, but I'm doing a troll face right now. Quit wiggling around. Go to bed. So we see this happening, and it's like, it's all better judgment. You know, it's Ravenloft, but we can't fucking let the Were-Ravens die. Because, like, if the Were-Ravens die, then there's, like, no... Even if we die, like, if we die, there's no fucking hope now for Bavaria whatsoever. Like, the only fucking people who could fucking have saved this place in our absence are now fucking dead. Plus, we really fucking need as many of the fucking items that hurt fucking Strahd as we fucking can. So, we just fucking start beating this fucking bitch ass fucking bitch down. Like I'm gonna say it, this is probably the most epic beatdown that's ever happened in Ravenloft ever. I mean, Lundy fucking basically runs up and crits the motherfucker. Like, he crits him so hard, like, it takes half of his fucking hit points off right out the fucking bat. Like, so, like, this dude has to fucking succeed a fort save or fucking die immediately. Then fucking Julian hits him with her fucking, her spirit gun. Queenie fucking hits him. I don't hit him. Oh, no, wait. No. Jillian didn't hit him. What Jillian did was even worse. Jillian shot his fucking nightmare right in its eye and completely destroyed it. Zoom tight. Okay? So, anyways. So, yeah, the nightmare's already fucked up. He's fucked up. So, like, the nightmare starts taking off in the air, and that's where I'm like, no, you don't. Empowered Ray of Enfeeblement. Love that spell. And you know what? Psych is really gonna hate me, because in fucking 2 levels, I get maximized. I can have a maximized empowered Ray of Enfeeblement. So, that's like, I always deal either between 8 or 16 fucking points. Like, I always do it. So, there you go. 1 second. So, anyways, I hit the nightmare, so he comes tumbling down because he fails his fucking fort save, and he just fucking crashes to earth with this dude on top of him. He's dead. Then, while I'm doing that, Angus casts a spell that, like, causes rocks to appear above the dude, and they start falling on him. So, he's like, he starts standing up, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, and he, like, takes off his helmet, and he's, like, really fucking super ugly or something. So, but then I think fucking that's when Kalen's fucking Eidolon steps in and is like, fuck you, and just, like, rips him fucking apart. And that's how, like, the fucking second game ended. Like, well, I mean, to be fair, it ended with, like, the townspeople fucking hating us because, they're just fucking scared. They're terrified. One dude threw a rock at fucking Anna, so I was like, hey, and I fucking Ray of Enfeebled him. Because I was like, hey, I'm defending the honor of my milady. So, that was those games. I think I'll cut off here for now. Because like the third game, like the game we did tonight's pretty fucking long. Like, it went on for a pretty good fucking while, so I'll probably upload this one and then I'll pick it up with that. Baron Strahd's niece. So we decide to go visit her to try to cure her of her ailment. So we go there, and we're let in by a butler and a maid. The butler looks like the butler from Helsing, and the maid looks like the maid from fucking, from Black Lagoon. So there you go, mental image. You got it. So they lead us in, and they take me and Anna, because we're the healers, and I also say Lundy is our nurse, Nurse Vasir, so he can get in, because, he's usually the one who asks the questions and stuff. So we go in, and we start examining her, and it dawns on Vasir first that she's a vampire, and so is the butler, and so is the maid. Everybody's a vampire. So Vasir starts having a panic attack. Anna notices this, and then she figures out that fucking this woman is a vampire. Okay, D&D update. I don't really want to do this, since I'm having sleep troubles as it is, so I don't want to be babbling trying to fucking go to sleep. But I've already delayed it to the point where there's 3 games now I have to fucking update, and that's all for the same fucking recap. So, I think that's fucking enough. So go ahead and get this fucking shit out of the way. So, when we left off, we had just arrived in the town with, dude's niece. So, Anna has a fucking heart attack. Like, almost fucking dies on the spot. Like, I was also fucking panicked. I was trying to run away, but the butler was holding me down, and seeing Anna have a heart attack, that kind of snapped me out of it. So, I managed to get something on her where she could ignore the pain of having a heart attack enough to fix herself, and then, myself being a professional, I went over and start examining the patient. Now, Queenie and the rest of the group were waiting down the hallway when they hear Anna scream in pain. So Queenie decides to rush in. That's when fucking the butler grabs her with his fucking razor wire gauntlet. And then the rest of the party's coming up, and the maid's behind them with a gun. So as I'm examining the lady, I'm like, I'm gonna say you're a vampire. That's interesting. How long have you been one? And she tells me that she's like, do you want to clean the shit out of your pants? It's like, if that would be acceptable. So, like, I'm leaving, and I'm like, as I'm passing the butler, I'm like, excuse me, where's the lavatory? And he's like, down to the left. And I'm like, thank you. And then I'm all like, excuse